Hey guys, it's gonna be dogs barking in the background. Hopefully, I have some music. Make sure this is like the first days I'm starting out the channel. Hey guys, it's 258. Switch the channel not from Brony to this. Mostly because I like the name 258, and most of the time I grind and I feel like my avatar should be a fucking robot at the moment, but can't get any artists to do that right now, so gotta go with the text only shit. Anyways, today we're gonna read Button Mashing Button's Mother by Zod, the Immortal One. This was commissioned, I guess, or suggested by me from Night Phoenix Starfire. Thanks for him for that. Those dogs are gonna be annoying me the whole time while I'm reading this, so hopefully you guys don't hear it, but they're literally like right next to the fucking window without this fucking mic is in, and I don't like it. Anyways, let's hop right into it. Chapter 1. Dinner's ready, you two, said Miss Mash from the dining room. Wanna play another round after dinner? I asked as Button paused the game of Puzzle Pony Fighter Turbo. Sure, Jared, said Button, as he and I stood up and walked into the dining room. That game is really fun. As Button and I got into the dining room, I saw Miss Mash giving us friendly smiles as she takes her seat. I can hear that you two are having a fun night together, said Miss Mash as Button and I took our seats. Are you two planning on having a slumber party? No, Mom, retorted Button. I'm 18. I don't need any of that. I'm just teasing you, honey, giggled Miss Mash. How are you doing, Jared? My face felt warm as Miss Mash looked me in the eyes. I'm doing just dandy, Miss Mash, I said as a bead of sweat came down my brow. Thank you for inviting me over. You're very welcome, said Miss Mash, with a smile and a wag of her tail. Dig in, kiddies. The three of us dig into our plate full of corn and salad. As we ate, I looked up at Miss Mash, took a forkful of salad and placed it into her mouth, making a little of it fall onto her breasts. I immediately looked away and continued eating. Think on sexy thoughts, think on sexy thoughts, think on sexy thoughts, I repeated in my head as I ate a forkful of corn. Thank you very much for the meal, Miss Mash, I said as I placed my fork onto the empty plate. Why, thank you, Jared, said Miss Mash as she stood up and picked her plate and came up to Button and I. Thanks, Mom, said Button. You're welcome, sweetie, said Miss Mash as she gave Button a kiss on his forehead. Mom, don't do that in front of Jared, said Button out of embarrassment. Sorry, honey, said Miss Mash with a chuckle as she picked up our plates. Sorry if you had to see that, Jared. No problem, Miss Mash, I said as I scratched the back of my head. It's normal for a mother to embarrass her son like that. Jared, I thought you were on my side. Sorry about that, but it's true, I said as I gave Button a pat on the back. I looked over to Miss Mash, who gave me a smile before starting the dishes. Come on, Jared, said Button after wiping his face. Let's go continue our game. Sure, I said as I followed him back into the living room. Before leaving, I took a glance back at Miss Mash, who continued cleaning the dishes. I then stared at her butt, which was cute to see with human eyes. Dude, are you coming? Said Button from the living room. I'm waiting. I'm coming, I said as I walked into the living room. Sorry, I was distracted. By what? It was nothing, I said as I sat down beside him. Button presses the start button and the game continues. Damn, said Button as I won the second round of the 10th game. How are you so good at this? There's a game in my world called Puzzle Fighter 2, which is very similar to your game, I explained. Oh, cool, said Button with interest. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. I got it, said Button as he paused the game and walks to the door. Button opens it and pops in three very familiar faces, Scootaloo, Apple Blue, and Sweetie Belle, aka Button's girlfriend. Hey Button, said Sweetie Belle, how's it going? I'm doing fine, I'm playing a game with Jared. The three girls turned their heads towards me as I gave them a wave. Hey Jared, said the girls. How's it going, girls? I asked as I stood up to meet them. I'm getting better with my wings, said Scootaloo as she flapped her wings a tiny bit. I'm helping my sister over at Sweet Apple Acres, said Applebloom. As for me, said Sweetie Belle, and she clung onto Button's left arm, Button and I are going to Cantaloupe for a whole week starting tomorrow on Sunday. Really? I said out of surprise. I was going to tell you, but she told you instead, said Button as he kisses Sweetie Belle on the cheek. No prob, I said as I walked over to Button and patted him on the back. Go on your date, you deserve it. Thanks, bro, said Button as we gave each other a hug. Bromance, said Scootaloo, making her friends laugh. Button and I broke the hug and shook awkwardly. Button, I heard knocking on the door. Who is? Oh, said Miss Mash, who was cut off from the sight of the three girls. I almost forgotten that you three were coming. As Miss Mash talked to the girls, I noticed that she's very sweaty. Why is that? I then noticed at the corner of my eye that she was holding onto something behind her back. The thing had a color of red and it had weird bumps on it. I wonder what she's hiding, I thought to myself. Hey Jared, said Button, bringing me back to reality. Yeah? Would you like Apple Bloom's apple-flavored ice cream? She has it in the car and was wondering if you'd like some. Yeah, sure. What's up? You look as if you saw something distracting, said Sweetie Belle. Oh no, it was nothing, I said as I waved my hand at her. It was nothing at all. I'll be right back to join in on the ice cream tasting, said Miss Mash as she hurried towards her room and is trying to not reveal what is in her right hand. She does have something hiding from us, I thought to myself. I wonder what it is. Yo, Jared, said Button, getting my attention. Oh, yeah. Seriously, what's up with you? It's nothing, I'm fine. Well, let's sit in the living room and wait for the ice cream, said Button as he, Sweetie Belle, Scootaloo, and I walked into the dining room and sat down in our seats. I'm back, kiddies, said Miss Mash as she wiped away the sweat from her forehead. Let me get the plates. I looked back at Miss Mash and noticed that she's not hiding anything in her right hand, and for some weird reason she smells of both sweet and strawberries. I'm not getting really curious to what she was doing. I wonder what she's hiding, I thought to myself. Was she doing a workout while Bud and I were in the living room? Or was she? I was cut off as Apple Bloom came in with a tub of her family's apple-flavored ice cream. Here it is, every pony, said Apple Bloom as she placed the tub of ice cream in the middle of the table. I can't wait to try it. Apples, I said. You'll seriously love it, said Apple Bloom as she scoots the chair beside me to sit down. Oh, Apple Bloom, said Miss Mash, making Apple Bloom stop from sitting down. Sit beside Scootaloo. I'd like to sit there. Okay, Miss Mash, said Apple Bloom as she walks over to the chair near Scootaloo and sat down. That's weird, I thought to myself as Miss Mash places bowls and silverware onto the table. That's weird, I thought to myself as Miss Mash places bowls and silverware onto the table. After Miss Mash gives every pony and I their silverware, she begins opening up the tub of ice cream and began giving everyone their scoops. Jared, how much would you like? Asked Miss Mash as my turn came. 2 scoops, Miss Mash, I said as my face went warm from the sight of her eyes. Your wish is my command, said Miss Mash as she gave me my 2 scoops of ice cream. Thank you, Miss Mash. Anything for a friend of my son, said Miss Mash with a wink. I looked away from her with a blush upon my face and started eating my ice cream. As I took my 3rd bite, Miss Mash sat right beside me and begins to eat her ice cream. As we all enjoyed the ice cream in silence, I kept giving Miss Mash quick glances. She really liked the ice cream as I hear her quiet moans of deliciousness. As I was close to finishing my ice cream, a tiny gasp caught my attention to my left. I look over and notice that Miss Mash had a little bit of ice cream on her chest. She places her spoon into her bowl, takes her index finger and wipes off the ice cream from her chest. She takes the finger and sticks it into her mouth and gives it a little suckle to get the ice cream off her finger. That was delicious, said Miss Mash as she looked over to Apple Bloom. Thank you for bringing this over, Apple Bloom. You're welcome, Miss Mash, replied Apple Bloom. How do you like it, every pony? It was superb, said the others. How about you, Jared? Asks Miss Mash as she looks down at me with somewhat sultry eyes. It's delicious, Miss Mash, I replied with nervousness. You should be thanking Apple Bloom, said Miss Mash as she licks the corner of her mouth. Sorry, but I have to go use the restroom, I said as I hurried into the restroom. As I got in, I turned on the sink and splashed my face a couple of times. Get your head together, I said to myself. Stay calm. I grabbed a small towel and wiped my face with it. I think my night here is done, I said to myself as I got out of the bathroom. As I walked into the dining room, every pony gave me a confused look. Jared, honey, are you okay? Asks Miss Mash. I gotta go, I said as I walked over to the table. My night here is done. I wanted to play more games with you, Jared, said Button. I know, but you and Sweetie should get some rest for your trip tomorrow. He's right, said Miss Mash. The girls can stay here a little longer, but no later than 10. Yes, ma'am, said the girls. Okay, see you guys later, I said as I gave Button and every pony else a wave goodbye. Also have a good time with Sweetie Belle, Button. We will, said Sweetie Belle. Also, apples, your ice cream is very good. Thanks, Jared, said Applebloom with a smile. I waved to every pony and walked into the living room to put on my shoes and jacket on. Hey, Jared, called out Miss Mash. There's something I want to ask you, if you aren't too busy tomorrow. Yes? Would you, like to hang out with a lady like me tomorrow? Asked Miss Mash. Without Button around the house, I get lonely. Oh, sure, Miss Mash, I said as I gave her a smile and placed my head on the doorknob. Before I walked through the door, Miss Mash ran up to me and gave me a kiss on my cheek. I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck lit up from the touch of her lips. I can't wait, whispered Miss Mash as she gave me another and walked back into the dining room. I walked back home with a blank expression upon my face. I lay on my bed with a blank look as I stared up at the ceiling. Did she really just kiss me? I said to myself. The pony I'm in love with, out of nowhere, kisses me? That was strange. I woke up with a stretch and got off my bed. As I walked over to my closet and placed a shirt over my head, I looked through the window to see the bright sun lighting up my day. Good morning, Equestria, I said to myself as I placed on my PJ bottoms before heading into the kitchen to make me some breakfast. I opened up the cupboard near the fridge and pulled out a box of cinnamon toast oats. Nothing like a good cereal to start my day with a lovely Miss Mash. I said with a smile as I poured the cereal into my bowl. I wonder what she has in store for me. I reached into the fridge and pulled out a carton of milk and began pouring it into my bowl of cereal. I placed the milk back into the fridge and pulled out a spoon from where the silverware was. This is gonna be tasty, I said as I walked into the living room and set the bowl onto the coffee table. I sat down and turned on the TV to the channel about animals. It's kinda like Animal Planet. I grabbed a hold of my bowl and began chowing down on the cereal. As 10 minutes have passed, the phone rang. I got up and walked into the kitchen to pick it up. Hello, I replied. Hey, Jared, said Miss Mash in a happy tone. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Mash, I replied. Meet me at the house by 10 a.m. Button and Sweetie will be gone and I have today's schedule for the both of us. Really? I said with a blush upon my face. Can you tell me the first we're going to do? It's all a surprise, giggled Miss Mash. Also, when Button isn't around, call me Elena. Her voice, for some reason, went from friendly to sultry-like. That was weird. Sure thing, Elena. Oh, I like it when you call me by my name, said Elena with a chuckle. Well, see you in an hour. Bye-bye. Bye, Elena, I said before hanging up. It's already 9? I turned off the TV and took my empty bowl into the dishwasher and headed straight towards the shower. As I left the house, I decided to head over to the flower shop to pick out a banquet of flowers for Elena. As I entered, 3 mares that I see a lot around town gave me a warm-hearted smile and came up to me. Hello there, Hubert, said the mare with light green hair. My name is Daisy, and this is my flower shop. My name is Jared, Daisy, I corrected her. Oh, sorry, it's just that we didn't know your name, said Daisy. Anyway, these two are Rose and Lily. Hi, said the other 2 mares. Nice to meet you, ladies, I said with a smile. I came to get a banquet of flowers for a special... some pony. The girls gave out a gasp and then a squeal, along with a wag of their tails. Aw, you have a special some pony? Asked Rose. What's her name? Her name is Elena, I said with a blush. Miss Mash, asked Lily, as she and the other 2 mares stopped wagging their tails. Indeed it is, I replied. Well, we have some banquets still in stock, right this way, said Daisy, as she and the other girls led me to where the banquets were. I looked upon them and was amazed. There were roses, daisies, and many others than what I was expected. Wow, I must say that these are pretty, I said as I picked up the banquet of roses. How much for the banquet of roses? 20 bits, said Daisy. I took out my pocket and pulled out my wallet. I was glad to hear that because I have enough bits that I have been saving for a while. Here you go, I said as I dropped the bits onto Daisy's palms. Thank you very much. Palms. Thank you very much, said Daisy as she placed the bits in her pocket and gave me the banquet. Have a good day with your special sun pony. I will, I said with a smile. Take care, ladies. We will, said the 3 mares as I waved them goodbye before leaving the store. Okay, I said to myself as I stood on Elena's porch. Now's the time for me to shine. I gave out a few deep breaths before ringing the doorbell. I stood there for 30 seconds and out came Elena wearing a short-sleeved shirt with an 8-bit character on it. She wore slacks, had her hair done in a ponytail, and was wearing ear piercings. I was smitten by her beauty. Hey Jared, are those for me? Said Elena as she gave out a flushed face. Yes, they are, I said as I handed the banquet to her. Here you go. Jared, that's so sweet of you, said Elena after taking a whiff of the roses. These are very pretty. Thank you very much, sweetie. You're welcome, I stuttered. Stay right there. I'll be right back, said Elena as she rushed back into the house. Damn, she's very pretty today, I thought, more than usual. Maybe it's her eyes, her lips, her curves, or is it? Whoa. Keep your mind clean, buddy. This is just a day of hanging out with her, nothing else. I gave out a deep breath before Elena came back and locked the door behind her. Okay, I'm ready, Jared, said Elena as she stood beside me and swayed her tail back and forth like a happy dog with her purse. Let our day begin. Yes, Elena, I said with a gulp. We both walked down the porch steps and walked along the path towards Ponyville. As we walked together, I didn't expect her to cling onto my arm. Elena? Yes, Jared? Why are you holding on to my arm? Is it that bad? Oh no, I'm just curious. Well, I just like to... You seem like a nice guy. I felt like a nervous wreck as we continued our walk towards Ponyville. Well, that's very nice of you to say, Elena. She smiled up at me and clung onto my arm tightly. You're welcome, sweetie. My face felt warm as she and I entered Ponyville. Oh, I have a good idea. Let's go down to the cart over there, said Elena as she pointed at the cart that was being sold by a well-known pony named Applejack. You want an apple? Of course I do, said Elena as she gripped onto my hand and pulled me with her. Come on before the line goes crazy. As we made it to the cart, Applejack gave us a tip of her hat. Howdy, want an apple? Asks Applejack as she leans on the cart. We sure do, Applejack, I said as I gave her 4 bits for 2 apples. Thank you, sir, said Applejack as she handed us our apples. Have a good day, you two. We will, said Elena before taking a bite into her apple. Come on, sweetie, let's walk around some more. Of course, I said as I held onto her free hand and took a bite into my apple. Jared, may I ask you something? Sure, I said before taking another bite into my apple. You seem nervous. Is there something wrong? Oh no, nothing is wrong. Okay, sweetie, said Elena as she took another bite into her apple. Where would you like to go to now? Does the bookstore sound good? Sure, I wouldn't mind getting myself a book, I said as I took another bite into my apple. I wonder if there will be something in there like The Never-Ending Story. The Never-Ending Story? Asked Elena before taking another bite into her apple. What's that about? It's about a boy who finds a book and takes him to a world called Fantasia, where it is a place where everybody's fantasies belong. The bad thing was that nothing is destroying the land and they need the help of a warrior named Atrio to stop it. Sounds interesting, but I never heard of it at all in Equestria. That's because it's from my world. Luckily, I have the copy of it at home, I said as I threw away my apple core at a nearby garbage can. I'll lend it to you. You would? Sure. You'll love it if you're a bookworm. I noticed that Elena had pink spots on her cheeks, and she looked away from me. Thank you, Jared. That's very sweet of you. You're welcome, Elena. Welcome to my little bookstore, said the mayor at the register who had orange and purple hair. Thank you, Miss, Moondancer, sir. Thanks, Moondancer. No problem. Look around and see what you can find. Come with me to the fantasy section, said Elena as she pulled me over to the fantasy section of the store. We searched around the section for the past 5 minutes till something caught my attention. It was a small paperback book that had an interesting title. The Last Dragon. Sounds interesting, I said to her as I pulled the book from the shelf and looked at the book of what the book was about. Have you found anything interesting? I did, said Elena as she held up a small paperback of a book called Mechanical Love. It's about a stallion that falls in love with a mechanical mare. Excellent. Here, give it to me. I'll pay for it, I said as Elena gave me the book. How sweet of you, said Elena with a blush. I smiled at her and then the both of us headed towards Moondancer. I placed the books in front of her and she gave us a smile. Looks like you two are done, asks Moondancer as she scanned the books. We are, Miss Moondancer, I said as Elena hugged my arm. He's such a sweetie pie, said Elena as she rested her head on the side of my left arm. That'll be 10 bits, said Moondancer as she placed the books in the bag. I pulled out my wallet and took out 10 bits. Here you go, I said as I handed her the change. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, you two, said Moondancer as she handed me the bag. You too, I said as Elena and I left the store. Thank you so much for buying the books, said Elena, who took the books from my hand and placed them within her purse. You are such a nice guy. Thanks, Elena, I said with a blush. As we walked along the path, our legs somewhat took us to Sugar Cube Corner. Want something sweet to eat? Asked Elena. Sure, I said as the both of us entered with a flash of pink jumping directly at the two of us. Whoa, said the both of us. Hey there, you two, said the pink mare. My name is Pinky, and I'll be your waitress for today. The both of us took a seat near a window as Pinky got us Our menus. Is there something you like? Asked Pinky as she pulled out a piece of paper and a pen. Well, we'd both love a bowl of chocolate ice cream, please, I said as Pinky grabbed our menus. Suburb, I'll be back in a bit. And just like that, Pinky was out of our hair, and it was just the two of us, Elena and myself. So, how are you enjoying your day, Elena? I asked. I love today, said Elena. You made my day wonderful. Well, that's good to hear, I said as I scratched the back of my head. Have you read your book? Yeah. Huh? We just got them, said Elena with a cocked eyebrow. Oh, sorry, I was curious are you gonna, I was frustrated to talk to her. Sorry, I'm just new. I was cut off as she placed her index finger upon my lips with a shush. Shh, you're doing fine, sweetie, said Elena as she slowly retracted her finger. You don't need to strain yourself. Oh, well, thanks for telling me that, Elena, I said with an awkward chuckle. You're welcome, sweetie, she said with a giggle, but you are so cute when you're nervous. I blushed and looked away from her. Here you go, said Pinky as she placed a bowl of chocolate ice cream in front of us with 2 spoons in it. Enjoy, you lovebirds. Thanks, Pinky, said Elena before Pinky leaves us with a smile. Wow, this looks tasty. Elena grabs a hold of her spoon and takes the first bite into it. This is delicious. Than what I imagined it will be, said Elena. Is it? Elena took another spoonful and held it up near my face. Say ah, said Elena in a motherly tone. I said, as she slowly places a spoonful into my mouth and slowly pulled it out. How does it taste? It tastes great. Well, that's good to hear. I smiled as the both of us continued eating our ice cream. That was a tasty dairy treat, said Elena as she and I sat on the bench while looking at the sun setting in the distance. I wish today didn't have to end so early, I said as I looked at my wristwatch. It's 6:10 p.m. Time flew by quickly today. It sure did, agreed Elena, as she placed her hand on top of mine, making me flinch a bit. Jared, can I ask you something? Sure, I said as I looked down at her. Would you like to spend the night with me? Asked Elena with a blush. Huh? How come? Well, because you are the nicest human than any of the other stallions that try to hit on me. Elena, are you saying that you are... I was cut off as Elena placed her lips onto mine. My blood went hot that I almost went faint. Jared, I'm in love with you, said Elena as she retracted her lips from my own. You are? She gives me a nod. Well, the truth is, I'm in love with you too. I fell in love with you since the day I saw you, I said as I clasped my hands on her. You are the sweetest pony I've met since the day I arrived. Oh, Jared, said Elena with tears coming down her face. I never knew. I smiled before the both of us went into another kiss, but a passionate one. The sun then disappeared behind the hill as the sky was becoming darker. Okay, I'll be with you tonight. Elena smiled as the both of us got off on the bench and headed back. Say, Jared. Yes, cutie pie. What's your favorite type of wine? Oh, I don't drink. You don't? Nah, my father was an alcoholic, and I swore that I never would be like him. Oh, well, is Coca-Cola fine? Sure, I said as I held onto her hand. We're home, said Elena as she took off her scrunchie to let her hair be free. Sit on the couch while I'll go pour us a drink of Coca-Cola. Sure, sugar, I said as I gave her a peck on the cheek and sat down on the couch. I sat there and thought freely. What a great day, I thought to myself. As I stared onto the ceiling, I can't believe this is happening. This is legit. I'm actually staying alone with Elena for the night. Here I am, said Elena as she handed me a cup of Coca-Cola. Bottoms up. We made our cheers and took a sip. I love the bubbles popping in my mouth, I said with a sigh of relaxation. Glad you like it, said Elena as she took in another sip. I did the same till both our cups went empty. Thank you very much for the drink, Elena, I said as she and I placed our cups onto the coffee table. You're very welcome, sweetie, said Elena with a smile. Elena, can I ask you something? Sure. May I ask what happened to your husband? She gave me a saddened look and looked away from her with her ears flopped down. He cheated on me with another mare, said Elena. He found her prettier than myself. How horrible, I said as I began to fear her pain. He's an asshole who chose another mare behind my back, shouted Elena as she began to tear up. She placed her face onto my chest and continued to sob. You poor soul, I said as I wrapped my arms around her. What a horrible stallion he was. He is, shouted Elena as she looked up at me. I was once cheated on too, I said as I placed my head on top of hers with another guy because she told me that I wasn't enough man for her. Really? Said Elena as she looked up at me and wiped her tears with her hands. Or are you just saying that? It's true as a deep blue. What? It's true as a deep blue, I said as I held onto her head and made our foreheads touch one another. If I were your husband, I would never leave you. You wouldn't, said Elena with a blush. If I were your husband, I would never leave you. You wouldn't, said Elena with a blush. I swear, I said, as I retracted my head a little further away from hers to look at her in the eyes. She slowly places her hands on my head, and together we pulled in for a kiss. We kissed hard that when we retracted our heads, a strand of saliva came out, but then it split. I love you, Elena, I said before kissing onto her forehead with all my heart. I love you too, said Elena before the both of us began to give each other another passionate kiss. Our tongues fought one another as well as to exploring each other's mouths. Suddenly she gave me a little push and I sat 2 feet away from her. Can I tell you something this time? Asked Elena as she licked the corners of her mouth. Yes, my love. She then pulls me back and brings her muzzle to my ear. You have been making me wet for a little while now, whispered Elena, which made my eyes lit up. Really? I asked out of surprise. You have, she whispered again before pushing me back. Come into my room where we can start our love making. She grabs my hand on the both of us walked out of the living room, down the hall and into her room. It was small, but it had a perfect sized bed for the both of us. I was also surprised to see an 8-bit heart on it that looked like something out of Minecraft. I looked over to her as she gave me a sultry-like smile. So, how would you like to... Whoa, I was cut off as Elena begins to pull off her shirt to reveal to me her cute-looking cat keyhole bra. Her cute-looking cat keyhole bra. Huh? What was that? She said as she threw her shirt to the left corner of her room. Wow, you look cute in that bra, I said as my face began to go warm. She giggled and began to fondle her bra-covered breasts. You like what you see, honey? She said as she continued. Do you really find me sexy? I do, I replied. Want to touch them? She asked as she begins to unhook her bra and reveal to me her breasts. I stared at them and couldn't move almost how great they looked. I stared at them and couldn't move a muscle over how great they looked. I'm a D cup, if that's what you are wondering. Wow, they sure are perfect. Too perfect, I said before I gave out a gulp. Why don't you get a feel of them instead of just staring? Come on, said Elena as she grabbed a hold of my right hand and placed it gently onto her right breast. Whoa, I said from the touch. They feel very soft, like that blanket I had that my mother gave me when I was little. Aw, that's cute, she said with a giggle. Care to give it a squeeze? I gave the breast a squeeze, which made her give out a tiny moan. Like that? I asked as I placed my other hand on her left breast. Oh yes, do that again, she said as I began to fondle them. As I fondled them, I began to place both of my index fingers on her nipples and gave them a twirl. Oh, my nipples feel tingly, she moaned as I continued suck on them. I obeyed and placed my lips upon her right nipple, which made her give out a small gasp. I sucked and sucked until I felt her body tremble. I'm feeling something coming out, she said as I began to suck her harder on the nipple. Out of nowhere, I felt warm liquid of her milk pouring into my mouth. I grabbed a hold of the other breast and placed both the nipples into my mouth for doubling the taste. Sweet Celestia, shouted Elena. I never realized that it saved up so much milk. I removed my lips from her own nipples and gave her a smile. It was tasty, I said as I licked the corners of my mouth. Now for my other lips, she said as she pulled off her pants to reveal her panties that had a cat that looked like the cat from Trigun. I love your panties, I said with a bigger blush on my face. Why thank you, but wait till they come off, she said as she slowly pulled them down to reveal her wet pussy. Yet again, my eyes lit up yet again as I noticed a dribble from her lower lips. She lays down onto the bed and spreads her legs to give me the full view. It looks really cute, I said as she places her fingers onto her lips to spread her lower lips further. Lick me, she said. I want to feel your tongue inside of me. All I could ever use to pleasure myself was that dildo over there. She pointed to her closet, and down below near some shoes was a red dildo, the same one I saw the other night. Hot damn, I was right about that red thing I saw her hiding yesterday, I thought to myself as I looked at the dildo. Anyway, come and pleasure me now, she said, giving me her full attention. Okay, sweet cheeks, I said as I lowered my face to her lower lips. The aroma was strong, but it smelled like strawberries, like the other night. I stuck out my tongue and began to lick her clit. Ah, she gasped loudly. Right there, keep doing that. I smiled and decided to go re-row on her clit. Oh my! I'm about to come, shouted Elena. It's, I felt a squirt against my face and could even taste it from my mouth being open. I never realized my tongue was that good. Gasped Elena, as the upper half of her body collapsed onto the bed. That was a great release. Are you okay down there? I looked up at her and scooted beside her and looked deep into her eyes. I'm wet, I said as I wiped my finger on my forehead and placed it into her mouth as she sucked on it. Delicious, she said as she leaned towards me and licked all around my face. My cum tastes delicious upon your skin. She finished licking my face and began to lick within my left ear. Oh, that tickles, I said as I could feel her tongue licking through my left ear. Now the other, she said before going into the other. I giggled until the licking ended. She rested her head against my shoulder and gave me a kiss on my now clean cheek. Okay, there's still shit down here. You made me feel like a wonderful mare tonight, she said as she gave me a sultry smile. Now it's time for me to make you feel good. She pulls my upper half up and pulls up my shirt to reveal my abs. My, you are a buff human, she said as she threw my shirt to the floor. Much buffer than the stallions around Ponyville. Why, thank you, I said as I grabbed her hand and kissed it. You're such a gentleman, she said as she gave out a giggle. She then went for my pants and began pulling them off till I was in my boxers. However, that wasn't the only thing she saw. It's so big, she said as she looked at my covered shaft. May I see it in the flesh? Go right ahead. She began to pull those off me till my cock was high in the air. Wow, it looks different compared to a stallion's, she said as she stared onto my cock. It is, I said, but it still works the same. Go ahead and try it. She slowly slid herself onto me, making me stare at her pussy yet again. I pushed her tail aside to stare at her lower lips. I'll pleasure you as you pleasure me, she said as I began to feel her furry hands around my cock. Give it to me. She jerked my cock slowly as I licked the side of her pussy. The both of us moaned as we continued. Elena then begins to place her lips on the tip of my cock and began to swirl her tongue around it. I decided to do my part by licking within her pussy. Keep going, I said as I gave out a moan. She began to deep throat my cock as I began to feel my cock within her mouth. I licked as deep as I could into her pussy, till I felt her body twitch. Keep going, I'm getting close, she said before she began to bob her head up and down so quickly. Same, I said as I gave out a louder moan. Oh God, I'm about to come too. The both of us continued until both of us let out our bodily fluids onto one another. I felt her cum splash against my face yet again as she wrapped her lips around my cock to get every last drop of my cum in her mouth. Elena slid off of me and rested her head on my chest to take a breather. That felt great, Elena, I said as I licked the corners of my mouth. I felt great too, darling, she said as she looked up at me. Now for the grand finale. I want you to place your dragon into my water temple. Okay, I said with a weird stare to why she would say it like that. She gets on top of me yet again and stands above my cock. Here I come, she said with a squee. As she slowly sits onto my cock. Sweet Celestia, your cock feels amazing. She slowly bounces up and down with loud moans, filling the room. I grabbed a hold of her breasts as she jumps. Squeeze them as I bounce on your dragon, she shouted as I squeezed her breasts and moved them up and down from her jumps. Damn, this feels like heaven, I thought as I can feel the buildup of cum. Elena, I'm about to come. Let the dragon spray its flames, shouted Elena as she bounced as quickly as she could. Elena, it's a... I shouted as I came within her wonderful pussy. She shouted as she began to come, as well to mix our fluids into one. She jumps off my cock and then she lay beside me as the both of us breathed heavily. Elena, that was wonderful, I said as I looked over to her with sweat coming down her furry face. You are the best MLP in all of Equestria. That I am, she said as she gave me a deep kiss. Okay, now it's time for bed. I'm feeling tired. I gave her a kiss on the forehead before the both of us got under the covers and let our body heat do most of the warming up. Good night, Jared. Good night, my little flower. Elena fell asleep, but I was wide awake. I can't believe I had sex with the hottest mayor in Ponyville, I thought to myself. Wait, I can't wait to tell. Wait, my eyes lit up with the realization that this was the moment that I knew I fucked up. I just had sex with Button's mom. I think I even made her pregnant. If she asked me to marry her, that means, oh, fuck. The end. That was fucking beautiful. Don't know what the fuck this dragon shit's about though. I want to place your dragon into my water temple. Pinkie Pie rim shot. Oh, okay. It just gives me a rim shot. Okay, Pinkie. Thanks for that. That was interesting. Go fuck yourself, Pinkie. Alright. This guy got jokes now into his shit. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Doing whatever the fuck you guys do. Hopefully some of you are enjoying my Portal Let's Play, even though I don't talk for most of that shit. Also, I'm recording Portal 2 right now. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know when this is gonna fucking be published. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good fucking bye.
100,000 stories have filled my